Hello, folks. This is Natasha. Okay, so I was in Jesse Lee Peterson shows today, this Thursday, April 20th, and he had a guest that called him on his radio show. And this guy called him, and basically, I felt bad in the beginning where it's like he acknowledges that he's not a good person, that when he gets upset, he's has extreme anger issues. He can be very violent. And I commend him for opening up and telling that to him. He's like, I don't deserve people to help me because I know inherently I'm not a good person. Because when I'm triggered or when I go when I'm upset, my violence can be extreme and my anger can just pretty much go up. So Jesse Lee Peterson goes on and asks him, where did these thoughts come from? Why do you think you're not a good person? Why do you think this? Why do you think this? Where are they coming from? And he's like, it's just me. That's just who I am. And he's like, no, but you need. So Jesse Lee just keeps asking him the same stupid question over and over again. Finally, I agree with Jesse Lee Peterson when he says, well, you have a lot of stuff that's not really coming from you. It's coming from the devil. It made a home in you. So therefore, your thoughts, your words, what you're thinking and whatever is coming from the devil. So you're reacting off of your emotions. Now, the thing I don't agree with when it comes to Jesse is that he says all emotion, whether it's good or bad, comes from the devil. And this guy's very smart. What he said is not true. Which, of course, I had this argument with Jesse before you watch the other videos. He says, wait a minute, emotions don't come from the devil. God is the one who created all human beings with emotions. What are you talking about? That's what differentiates us from animals. We have consciousness. And so, like, for instance, a baby, when it comes out crying. Crying is a form of emotion. That means even before it was taught by the mother and father, it knew how to cry. An emotion. Crying is an emotion. Some may say crying is bad. Some people cry in laughter. Some people cry when they're sad. Some people cry when they're nervous. So for me, I think it depends. I think this guy's problem, and Jesse Lee Peterson had a poor way of trying to help him with his problem, is to help him understand that even though he's aware that he has, like the Bible says, there's good and evil within us, right? And I agree with that. It's your choice to act out the evil part or the good part. So in this case, he chooses to act out the evil part of his nature. Because of course we all come from sin. That's why we inherited both good and evil. But it's up to us to make that choice. But for him, he when he's triggered, he automatically takes that. And I think he has a lot of suppressed anger. And when it comes up, it just blows up and he becomes physically violent. And I think because, of course, his father wasn't there, there's so much anger that built up because he didn't have a father figure in his life. And also, he mentioned his experiences. So he probably always had to stick up for himself, his manhood, because his father was not there to teach him how to be a man. And also, his mother probably wasn't really able to help him to manage his emotions. Because, like you said, the mother is strong. But strength is not about always want to be the tough guy. That's not what strength is. Always want to fight. Okay? What comes with strength is wisdom. Wisdom to know the difference, to know when is it time to defend yourself and when is the time to just be quiet and shut up and just, you know, move just like the river, like the ocean. Just flow with life instead of against it. So when you resist, fight, and run away from things, you're resisting the flow of life. Same thing with anger or the negative emotion. See, there's good and bad. It goes back to good and evil. You have good emotions, which makes you feel good. Your body feels good when you have good emotions. And I believe it's from God. And when you have negative or bad emotions, there's a disease in your body. Your body does not feel at ease. Your heart hurts. I know sometimes I'll be like heartbreak. Yeah, I feel it in my, chest. And your body alignments. People just go through like hypochondriacs or mental issues and stuff like that. So when you think negative thoughts, You just want to act out and do something. Whereas when you think positive thoughts, you just want to live in that moment of bliss. And those are the difference. So I don't think Jesse Lee Peterson understands the difference when especially in Genesis, when it indicates that we're born in sin because of good and evil, the good and evil nature because of Adam and Eve. So when you emphasizes on that, so when you make a decision and say, you know what, I want to be a good person, it's a choice and decision you make. Now, of course, he has a lot of baggages from his past that he has to forgive certain things that happened to him, and he has to die to his old ways and become a new person, reborn, born again, because his old ways is not working. It destroys relationship. He's not happy with it. He wants to change. The fact that he wants to change is a good thing, but he needs to accept that the old way needs to die and he has to become a brand new person. The old him has to die. So in order to do so, he has to redefine himself as a good person and become that person that he chooses to be. You know how a good person looks like and acts like and talks like. Become the person that you truly that exemplifies good. Become that person. Become that good person. And then eradicate all the negativity, bad things that's associated with evil, the thoughts, everything. And boom. And then, forgive whoever treated you wrong and all that hate and anger in your heart. Forgive it, release it, let it go, and focus on being this new person. And I think that's the message that he failed to give this young man, and because the guy, of course, needed tools and he didn't know what to do about it. But he has to die to his old self and accept that's his past, and his past does not define his future. And I think that's the advice I would give him is to die to your old way and become the person that you truly are meant to be. The person that without the anger, without the fear, without the hurts, without the negative stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the video. You can hear what this guy says. You're going to see why I say what I said. And it's very interesting. Go ahead, guys, watch the clip. And this occurred today. And that's just my feedback.
So you're on the air.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask you one real quick question because you always talk about overcoming. So I have the issue that I'm trying to deal with. And my issue is I always put myself down. So, like, when people try to help me, I always say, listen, I don't deserve your help. Go to somebody that deserves to be helped. I'm not worthy enough to be helped. I'm not worthy of your time or your effort. I'm not that good of a guy. So how do you overcome feeling that way about yourself? I put myself down all the time.
And who is the self that you're putting down?
Me.
And who are you?
I'm Russ from Hampton, Virginia. It's me.
But who are you though that you're putting down? Who is telling you you're putting you down? Where you get that from?
That's the way I perceive myself.
And
Here's
is
the
it
thing.
possible that you could be perceiving yourself in the wrong way?
Of course, I'm infallible. I'm not perfect. Of course, I can perceive myself in the wrong
And so
way.
where are you
But
getting the ideas from about this self? Where are those ideas coming from?
It's coming from me. That's just the way I see myself. Now listen. I'm older, so I'm a grown man. I'm 58 years old. I'm a decent man, but I put myself. Even my mom will tell you. My mom will say, you can be charming and personable when you want to be, but you can also be extremely violent. I'm like, well, yes, that is true. I'm violent when I need to be violent. And my level of violence is incredible. In fact, it's so incredible, it's scary. But I don't let that come out unless it's necessary.
Do you create your own ideas about yourself?
I would think so. Yeah.
And why would
I
you
mean,
create such violent ideas about yourself if you're doing the creating of the ideas?
okay. Again, my level of violence and my
No,
violent
no, no. I
tendencies,
understand that, but why, if it's you creating the thoughts and ideas about you, Russ, if you're in charge of doing that, why don't you just create all good ideas about yourself rather than bad one if you're doing the creating?
because I want to be honest. I am what I am.
No, no, no.
I mean,
But
no-
but why are you you you're not creating ideas about yourself at all. You never have and you never will.
well, no, that's not true.
But then tell me step by step how you create the idea.
Okay, we're talking about two different things. If you're talking about how I value myself as a
No,
person,
not how you
and if
value
you're talking
yourself. I
about
want to
violence,
know. I want to
that's
know
different.
step by step how do you create any idea about yourself, rather good or bad? What are the steps that you come up with to create these ideas about you?
I don't create them.
Where they come from?
Observation. I am what I am. I see myself and I see how I react. And I'm just speaking on what I observe.
And who you said these ideas that you have about yourself, they come from observation?
Yes.
And where
Sure.
you get the observation from?
I live them. I experience them. They're from my experiences. I'm not asking nobody. I experienced it.
And so, do you think that you can overcome them?
I think I can overcome the fact that I think that I'm not deserving from people trying to help me. That I do think I can overcome.
And so
That's why I called and asked.
And have you overcome that?
As of now, no.
And if
Listen,
you think
listen,
that
I
you
just had
can, if
situations-
you think that you can overcome it, why don't you overcome it?
because I don't know what steps I need to take to overcome them.
And so, why
That's
do you
why
think you can then if you don't know what steps? Why do you think you can overcome it?
I don't know whether I can. I'm asking whether I can because, again, I heard you talk about overcoming things all the time. So that's why I'm trying to gain knowledge, whether I can or not. If I can't and I'm just doing, okay, I accept that. But I'm asking the question.
I see. So you overcome them by realizing that you're not in control of anything, that something else made a home in you and it is controlling you by giving you all the wrong ideas about you. They're telling you you're bad and good, you can and you can't. And they're causing you to hold on to anger. And you believe that it's you, but you believe it a lie because you're none of the things that you think you are. You're neither good or bad, right or wrong. It's not you at all. It's the false image, the spirit that made a home in you and you think is you. If you drop the anger, all those things will fall away.
Okay, well, I hear you say that all the time. Anger is an emotion. Humans have emotions. That's what makes us human. So
emotion doesn't make you a human. Emotion makes you an animal.
No. Humans differentiates animals from humans. So yes, we are given emotions.
By who? Who give you emotions?
Okay, see, if I answer that in my way, I would say that's just the way it is. But in your terms, God gave humans emotions.
No,
so
that's not in my term. God did not give you emotions. Didn't you hear Antoinette call?
No, sir, I didn't.
All emotions are from your father, the devil. The devil gives you emotions, and God give you peace, which is non-emotion.
See, that's what you say. And just because you say that, that doesn't mean it's true.
Okay.
I'm saying that human beings are born with certain traits. That's what makes us human. For example, when a baby is born, does anybody have to teach that baby how to breathe? No, they don't have to teach that baby how to breathe. They know how to do that on their own. Does a baby need to teach you? Do you have to teach a baby how to cry so they can tell you that they need something? No, they're born with that. So emotions are the same way. We are born with emotions.
So
that's what differentiates us from.
First of all,
I'm sorry.
First of all, babies do not breathe on their own. The breath is a gift from God. It's breathing through them. They're not breathing on their own. Secondly, if emotions are natural and good, why are you having so much conflict with them?
Was that a rhetorical, or do you want me to answer that?
I want you to answer that. If they are good and natural, why are you having so much pain from them?
I have emotions that are both good and bad.
Give me a good one.
And
give me an example of a good one.
Many times I'm older now and I'm retired now, so I don't work. But back when I was working and my boss would do something real ignorant, I would stand up in his face and tell him, yo, you're not going to do that, and you're not going to do it because I'm telling you you're not going to do it. I had no fear because I was raised by a single black woman, and she taught me that.
And that's your example of a good emotion?
Yes.
Really? Well, give me this. If that's a good one, give me an example of a bad one.
A bad emotion was one time I'm driving down the road with she's my ex-wife now, but she was my girlfriend back then. And somebody pulled a gun out at me. And I said, don't waste my time waving the gun, pull the trigger. That was the dumbest thing anybody could ever do.
And so your bad example of emotion sounds just like your so-called good example, the same spirit.
No.
So let me ask, do you want to be free of this or not?
I want to be able to consider myself in a positive light, and that's my issue.
So
I don't
do you want to be free from the darkness?
In a positive light.
You want to be free from the darkness?
If that's darkness, then yes. I don't know.
Forgive
you in terms that I don't.
Go and forgive your bad black mama for what she's done to you. Forgive her for doing that to you.
Okay. See, you're not going to do that. My mother didn't do anything to me. Okay. My mother raised 3 young men. My mother never had to get anybody of her children out of jail. My mother never had to my mother raised 3 young men by herself. My father was gone. So
you don't see you have
the same person.
Don't you have the same personality as your mother? You don't see that?
I may have my mother's strength.
Your mother don't have strength.
No, that's a lie.
Okay.
Yes, she does.
Okay. Well, why don't you have it?
I do. That's why I survived the way I have up until this point.
But you're not. I wish you well then, Russ. Hold on to your mess.
No. Listen. I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to say I am perfect. I have flaws.
Right.
Every human does.
Okay. Thank you, Russ. I got to run. I appreciate it, man. Call me again. 888